Eden's Hope was an entry to our 5th Outer Wilds community mod jam. The theme this time was miniature, which this mod fit super well, and all entries took place in a shared solar system centered around a hub station where you spawn. The team behind this mod has made some great jam entries in the past, tying for first place in our first ever mod jam, getting 3rd place in Jam 3, and getting 1st again in Jam 4. For Jam 2 they made Survivors. We don't talk about survivors. Anyway, if you'd rather play the mod for yourself, you can download it at the link in the description. Okay, so this is the starting platform for Eden's Hope. There's a strange plant. There's some Nomai text. Warp passage to Lonely Lump provided for convenience. Okay. Is there any reason that I'm not flying my ship there? No, it seems like I could have just flown my ship. But that's okay. And we get a nice view of the starting station and another mod. Okay, so what's going on in here? I can refuel my jetpack just from this like oil spill. That's funny. Okay, there's like a lot of controls for something. Okay, well, that doesn't seem to do anything. Am I able to, like, put this in here? Yes. 531,441 systems catalogs, identifying candidate systems by current criteria, 19,683 candidates found, payload loaded, miniaturization system active, please step onto the platform. I mean, sure. And I am now inside the terrarium. Oh, the gravity here is very strong. I think if I like fall off of any of this, I'm just gonna be trapped. So they had different levers and stuff for increasing humidity, atmospheric pressure, etc. Oh, and I can't continue walking around. There's something down there, but again, I don't want to leave this platform because the gravity is way too strong. I won't be able to jet back out of there. I wonder also, I wonder how they did this. Did they actually shrink me down and put me into that model, or have they like warped me somewhere else? That'd be a little cheeky. I'm gonna leave my scout. Okay. They thought of it. Oh, they didn't think enough. Strange. Talk to strange device. The strange device sits idle. You feel a probing sensation somewhere inside your head. Press the controls at random. Nothing happens. Okay. Leave it alone. Armature rotation gear. Does not fit. It seems to match this. Okay, so this presumably changes where I don't know, it's moving the sun, quote unquote. Okay, this is the sun. And then I think this is like the warp, the white hole that I warp in through. So yeah, when I was walking around, I got to like here, and then I couldn't pass over the bridge. Yeah, it's broken on both sides, but now if I go in, I'm gonna get to that platform. I don't know why I wanted to go here, but I did. Oh, and there is another terrarium. Okay. Yeah, up here we just have mysterious cubes. I have no idea what those are supposed to do. So I imagine I can't, like, do anything with, so say here, lower lamp. I can't because it's missing the gear, and only certain sizes of gears do anything. Okay, I'll try the cliff terrarium. Again, yeah, gravity's way too high for me to want to go down and check out what that red thing is. If only because I don't want to have to reset the loop. Okay, and actually this doesn't seem to connect to anything. Let's move over here, see if we're connected to something. So, I mean, so far, they've done a great job with the theme of the jam. This... I don't know how I feel about this jumping puzzle. I'm like, is this intended? It could be that I have to move the sun and maybe the flowers' faces follow the sun, but I'm also kind of able to stand on them. So I don't know if that was a puzzle or I was just supposed to jump around. So Hawthorne says, Helianthus titanius is unique in that its stem will bend over the course of the day to maximize the exposure of its petals to sunlight. It prefers to grow under intense sunlight, so it follows that cloud cover substantially impairs its photosynthesis. A clarity of direction brings clarity of purpose. Okay, Hawthorne. I imagine then that I didn't have to move the sun to solve that, because it wouldn't make sense to solve a puzzle where the result is that it tells you the solution to the puzzle. Okay, that's interesting. Like, I wonder what that does. I wonder, like, did the flowers grow because of increased photosynthesis? I don't know. I'll go check this location. Hawthorne says Yucca sylvatica grows well in almost any environment as long as there is sufficient carbon dioxide present. Although the gases we inhale are different, it seems both Nomai and plant life benefit from higher pressure atmospheres. If the pressure increases too much, though, a storm will form, casting a dark shadow over the life forms that we're attempting to grow. I propose there is yet another metaphor there. So presumably you put some more atmospheric pressure, there's more CO2 for the plants to grow, but then if you put too much, it gets cloudy, and they can no longer photosynthesize. Okay, this is like the plant in the starting area. Tulipa nomai has very particular conditions under which it will bloom. Namely, it requires intense sunlight directly overhead. Also of note, while adult specimens can be artificially relocated, it was originally exclusive to the upper northern hemisphere of its native planet, but not at the North Pole itself, of course. It is a pity that this particular bed will never get that chance to flourish, consigned to struggle in the dark while their kin seek a brighter future. This Hawthorne character speaks very colorfully. Okay, so sun angle, we're on the South Pole. Can we actually move the sun to the South Pole? Just the way this setup looks, it seems like that would be impossible. Yeah. So we can't go further south than the equator, but we can go all the way north. I want to double check, like, did I feel like I kind of cheesed this puzzle, maybe. Well, no, these aren't even that much easier to platform on. Well, maybe they are. Maybe that was how I was supposed to get up here. Makes a bit more sense. And I fell down, so whatever. I guess I'm going to check out some of these other things. No text. Oh, no, there is. It appears this terrarium suffered structural damage due to the accidental contact it made with the floor while I was transporting it. I am thankful no other Nomai could have noticed my error. Okay, you dropped it on the ground. I wonder what damage that was, or what that could have done. So this has... Oh, use emergency warp. Okay. I was like, oh, I can't go down there to check out what these red things are, but no, this is just a way to escape if you do fall down. Could this be the... Oh, this must be where it got damaged? Okay, now that I know that I can just get back if I jump down like that, I'm going to check out the original terrarium. Okay. Did I bypass that bed of cacti by jumping? Oh. I... Was I supposed to be able to find you that easily? Hey, man. Ah, here we are. Testing, testing. Can you understand me, my wonderful four-eyed fellow being? Whoa, your staff can translate my language? Quite so, quite so. The Universal Translator was the keynote presentation at one of our festivals many, many years ago. It's quite useful, I do say. But enough about that. I find your own technology quite interesting. That device at your side is for identifying audible frequencies, yes? And that imaging device you have, is that an antiquated version of our warp technology embedded in it? And that third device, oh, for translating our language. How specific? Have you encountered other Nomai before then? Mostly just ruins from some long-dead clan. You're the first I've met who's still alive. Then well met, my friend, well met. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hawthorne. I have so many questions, but I am afraid I must dampen my curiosity and focus on the matter at hand. You see, my clan's specialization is xenobotany. We cultivate many How does this screen keep flickering? We cultivate many unique flora that we rescued from extinction and can no longer be found elsewhere in the universe. A normal vessel would be an insufficient environment for growing so many strains with a need for deep soil, of course. So we converted a barren world into a living one, sending our vessel out on expeditions to gather new specimens to cultivate, while most of our clan stayed on world to tend to our collection. However, 2 harvests ago, we realized that a neighboring system's star was becoming unstable. It was not a question of if it would go supernova, but when. With the help of other clans, we outfitted our world with its own warp drive, likely one of the largest the Nomai has ever designed. The power required is immense, but viable with the latest dark matter reactor technologies. The only unknown was the destination. You see, our world was selected specifically for its ideal environmental conditions. Statistically, there must be other suitable star systems out there, but we didn't have enough data at the time. With no other choice, I volunteered to stay here at this outpost with some enclosed terrariums and our seed banks to preserve them, and my clan set out on a journey to find an ideal location for our world. Unfortunately, it is inevitable that much of our flora will not survive. With each cycle that passes without the right solar conditions, more will wither and die. It is likely that the healthy seeds kept here are now the only remaining specimens of our most vulnerable species. I see. So where does the miniaturization system come in? Also, the time loop's ending. Ah yes, that piece of technology changes everything. You see, while the minute spatio-temporal shifting induced by warp drives is common knowledge among the clans, research into warp-based time travel or spatial resizing has long been considered a scientific and literal dead end. That was a hard sentence. However, not long before last harvest, I was contacted by a very strange group of Nomai who claimed to be survivors of the long-lost clan of Ascal. This is a reference to a previous Mod Jam entry. They had found an exceptional plant which naturally produced pockets of spatio-temporal distortion within itself and exploited this to create a miniature society which could meet all of its needs with a fraction of the materials and energy normally required. For example, by shrinking themselves down, an average tree could produce enough oxygen to serve the entire community rather than a single home. What's more, they discovered they no longer experienced time at the same rate as the universe outside. By the time they emerged, tens of thousands of harvests had already passed since Escal's vessel was lost. But, and this is key, the inverse effect was also achievable. By adjusting the space-time fields, they could experience hundreds of harvests in the time the outer universe experienced one. They could prolong their lives almost indefinitely. By applying their research, I was able to develop this miniaturization system to reduce the size of my terrariums and seed banks to a portable size. With this technology, my clan can restore our world and allow it to live and flourish longer than its natural lifespan would normally permit. The warp drive here is powerful enough to send the seeds there thanks to the reduced energy costs, but to lock onto the receiving pad, I need the coordinates for the system they found. I hypothesize that the ideal candidate world they will have eventually settled at is in the stellar catalog that I've... Darn. Okay, editing me here, this is the text I missed. I hypothesize that the ideal candidate world they will have eventually settled at is in the stellar catalog I've been given. If we can find the ideal environmental parameters for the flora I have preserved here, we'll find my clan. You do not owe me anything, but my clan and I would be immensely grateful for your assistance. Instead of cheating that puzzle again, I just went back to check on the cacti. Corypanthia sinus is a hardy species capable of growing in almost any environment, much like us Nomai, although it is considerably less migratory, naturally. However, we have observed its difficulty in uptaking nutrients in water-saturated soil. An arid environment with just enough latent moisture is ideal. Okay, so never mind. I 100% sequence broke that puzzle. Since this was a new loop, I had to go and grab the cliff terrarium again. I then started collecting the gears again, but then I remembered the strange device in the corner of the room. This thing like probes my mind. Does it know I talked to the Nomai? Oh hey. Recall the design of the lamp distance gear. Oh, that is super useful. Okay. I already had this one. Okay, I was gonna say, it's kind of annoying that it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to repeat this every time. Like, it would be a lot easier if it was just one extended loop. But okay, I only have to find each thing once. And yeah, I'm missing, this is what, atmospheric pressure and humidity. And I need humidity to get past the cacti in the intended way. Okay, so besides rotating it, I have not, like, solved the puzzle. So it might be nice to solve a puzzle. Oh wait, there's something hidden back here. Okay, dare I say, this is a puzzle that can be solved. So I need those sunflowers to be facing upwards, because right now they're kind of blocking my path. So how would I do that? I would tilt the sun up. Does that help me? Or where was that? That was here? No, so that blocks it even more. So I bring it all the way down to the equator. And now... where the heck was that? Was that here? Yes. There we go. We actually solved the puzzle. Now we have a whole new terrarium to explore. I'll just go to whatever warp pad it's currently aligned to. What are these? Once again, I feel like this was meant to be a barrier, and I just jumped on top of it. I don't know if they forgot that there is a boost function of your jetpack, and speaking of my jetpack, I'm gonna grab some fuel before I go farther. Okay, so we can go into these caves. Pretty dark on this planet. Oh, I did not mean to fall down here. But sure, we have more... these look like lily pads. It looks like... I would assume maybe if we increase the humidity, this fills with water and we jump across the lily pads and get over there. Okay, I think I'm able to just circumnavigate this planet, so there's no real need to rotate the armature. Maybe the puzzle is meant to be that we bring the sun in, we make it hotter, and then those things melt. Okay, so we bring the lamp all the way in. Yeah, okay. That one's levitating off the ground. Okay. So again, I could have just jumped over that, but, you know, it feels a bit better to do something that was seemingly an intended solution. And now I imagine with this one, like I was saying earlier, that maybe by increasing the humidity, there's gonna be water. I don't know. That doesn't seem to have changed anything. No, it did. Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier, I think I should now be able to cross the lily pads. Yes. And there we go. And this gives me atmospheric pressure. Nymphae liberta, unlike most other species of its genus, does not require a stem. Okay, can I get the water off my screen? Does not require a stem to affix it to roots or soil. It floats freely on the water surface. This adaptation allows it to adjust to floods and droughts without concern. How liberating it must be to be untethered, drifting beneath the stars with no great weight affixing you in place. So true. Okay, so I have all the gears now. I'm gonna go back. Oops, I almost fell in. I didn't mean to do that. To the ringed terrarium. And I want to increase the humidity, which, okay, perfect. It's already maxed out. So I should now be able to go to the North Pole to speak with Hawthorne again. Was that just like an incidental hint that that was how you get up here? Because, I mean, I seem to have also bypassed the cacti entirely by drowning them. Okay. Hi. Yes, I can hear you. Oh, I wasn't reading. What? I was just trying to skip ahead. Why did you vanish? I was like, okay, I just need to skip ahead to get back to where I was in the text before, but you disappeared. So the text that I accidentally skipped just said, listen, I'm trapped in a time loop and already heard all of this, so let's skip to the part where we save your clan. And then Hawthorne said, time travel, just as I hypothesized. I have so many questions, but I suppose I should not trouble you with them a second time. I will meet you outside. Why are you here now? Okay, probably I said, hey, come back to real life with me. How can I help? Why aren't you with the rest of your clan? I volunteered to stay behind. It was a safe location. I have the highest chance of preserving our life's work, and we needed a backup store of seeds in a secure location and a botanist to watch over them. I miss my clan terribly. Okay. How did you end up trapped in there? I hypothesized that some type of meteor shower impacted the planet, damaging the structure and knocking components out of their intended positions while I was within one of the terrariums. I did stockpile some replacement parts for the most vulnerable mechanisms as a failsafe, but I did not anticipate losing access to the outside world entirely. That was an unfortunate turn of events. Fortunately, you came along to rescue me not long after. What's the deal with the strange device? I know what it is, yeah, it lets you recreate the parts. A gift from one of our sister clans. You simply picture what you want it to produce, let it view your mind, and the object you want takes form in an instant. It does have some shortcomings, unfortunately. There is no interface for uploading schematics into it, only the neural interface, so it can only be as accurate as your own memory of an object's dimensions and makeup. I would not attempt to use it for anything electronic or organic, essentially. So I guess, yeah, tell me the plan, because I don't know what the plan was. To condense a lengthy tale to minimal proportions, my clan left on a world ship seeking a solar system with optimal conditions for growing our diverse collection of flora. The same flora can be found here in the terrariums along with my observation notes. I hope you have a good memory. The computer is actively narrowing down the list of possible systems using the parameters currently set by the controls here. If we use them to recreate the same conditions as that theoretical optimal solar system, the computer will pinpoint the world ship's location and set up a warp transit. The seed vaults I keep here and the potential applications of the miniaturization technology will allow my clan's botanical collection to be preserved almost indefinitely, as long as we can warp it all straight to them. So we need to figure out the exact right parameters here for the solar system by current criteria. I don't get it. Does this change the number of candidates? No. Does this change the number of candidates? No. Okay, I'm checking my ship logs because I actually don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. The ship is back there. Where's the warp pad? There's the warp pad. So yeah, I sequence broke into a conversation, a lengthy conversation that I was then not able to hear all of. So yeah, there's 5 different plants. The cacti can't handle excess water. Sunflowers like strong sunlight, can't be clouds. Tulips want particularly strong overhead sunlight. So I guess this just means the sun needs to be sort of in the upper northern, in the northern hemisphere, but not the North Pole. These guys need pressure. These guys need water. Is that all we need? We need to just sort of set the parameters such that all these plants have something. So the cacti can't have too much water. So we need water, but not too much water. We need pressure, but not too much pressure because that makes clouds. And we need sunlight in the northern hemisphere. So sure, medium water, medium pressure, sunlight in the northern hemisphere. And then that'll sort of give the system the right parameters for a star system that they'll then be able to warp to. So okay, let's say medium atmospheric pressure. Say medium humidity. Yeah, sun in the northern hemisphere. It said particularly strong, so let's get the sun in. And yeah, that's all I got. 27 candidates found. Okay, that's kind of an improvement. Does rotating this do anything? No. If I raise the lamp, yeah, raising the lamp makes it worse. What if we had even less water? 1 candidate found. Okay. I mean, that sounds right. This makes sense. It's like the lilies, it said. They're fine experiencing drought. They move up and down. Oh, no, not the end of the loop. I did it. Target coordinates are locked, and the seed vaults are tagged for transit. Are you ready? Here goes nothing. Did we warp? Oh, do I have to talk to you all and we're not going to have enough time? Are we all just hanging out? What's the deal? What are you guys looking at? You guys are looking up. Okay. I was kind of stressing because the time loop was counting down, but it was like, no, okay, we warped to the right planet. Okay. That was Eden's hope. Unfortunately, yeah, I kind of cheesed a few bits of that. I kind of sequence broke. But, I mean, yeah, that fits the theme all right. That fits the theme quite nicely. I want to see one of the tulips bloom. Were there blooming tulips in there? I was too frazzled by the loop ending to actually use my mind. I was going to say, yeah, that tulip better have bloomed now that I beat the mod. And it did. So that was Eden's Hope, where we helped a Nomai warp a seed vault to the rest of his clan in order to preserve a number of endangered plant species. I really liked the whole world ship thing. It really reminded me of the Pearson's Puppeteers from Larry Niven's Ringworld series. The usage of the theme was really great as well and gave rise to some really unique puzzles. Although that said, it reminded me somewhat of Heliostudy's final puzzle if you've played that mod or watched my playthrough. I think a little bit more polish could go a long way, especially if they were to ensure the time loop gets extended for the ending sequence, or when talking to Hawthorne, since I ended up having both my loops end very stressfully. If anything, I think the mod would benefit from there being no time loop at all, especially since it kind of undermines the ending, considering that Hawthorne doesn't actually get reunited with his clan since the loop resets everything we just did, but with the setup of the jam, that would have been against the rules, so What are you gonna do? Okay, that's all my thoughts. Good job to the Wrong Warp team. Really nice mod. Okay, bye.